But yeah, the YouTube thing pissed me off for a good minute. I was legitimately mad. Although it should be said that I am not nearly having the frame rate drop or any of the other problems I usually have with YouTube. I don't know if that's a sign. That could be a sign. Like, usually with YouTube by this point, things would have dropped off. We would have had buffering all over the place. I don't know. Maybe this is a sign that I need to do Twitch for reasons other than personal frustration. I don't know. But we're going to move forward here. And hopefully the regular crew can come in at some point. Actually, I should tell them why. Hold on. I should actually explain myself. YouTube stream plus boobs. Yeah, okay, I think that explains everything. All right, let's get started. I should have got a glass of water first. I just thought about it. On the 5th of the first 7 mornings, man again awoke to find his fire dead and cold. And there in the ashes sat yet another gift, a helmet, first of its kind. When man placed his polished platinum upon his head, he heard the voices all raiders know well. Make war, said the mother. Brazen are those beasts who would not bow. It was they who sought to smother you in infancy, and they plot your end still. So take the gifts that we have given you, and make war. And so, man made war. In the lands untouched by his tools, he found the brazen amidst a sick revelry. They ate their own kind, bred their own kin, and their misshapen babes went hungry for the glut of their elders. Each crowned itself in dedication to its own cupidity, and the weak huddled in the shadow of strength, longing not for law nor mercy, but only for a changing of seats. When the brazen at last beheld man come amongst them, they heed and hawed. He hath stolen himself some fur, they cried, and whittled himself a stinger. And they went on heeing and hawing until the first was felled, for the spear was mightier than their claws, and the helmet tougher than their teeth, and the torch was too bright and the horn too loud. The brazen fled, and the man gave chase, though the forest and over the hills to the side of the great cave. But there, at the mouth of the cave, man hesitated. Why stop there, the brazen called. Come in, come in. Man stared into the darkness, and darkness stared back. A glittering constellation, all sizes, all shapes and sizes, a watching and a waiting, and man knew he could not enter that place. So he plucked the left eye from his face, and set it upon the rock facing the cave mouth, to watch the darkness, and the watchers therein. And there those beasts still lurk, just beyond the light's reach, waiting for the eye of man to blink. I reckon it must be about noon. The morning birds have come and gone. My goodness. A starlight filters through the casement window, invading the little pox that smatter the rough-grained wall. I make an attempt at getting up. It's short-lived. From head to toe, all is pain. My cheek pulses from the lacerations hewn there. My legs and forearms are tattooed with a web of thin red lines that weep redder trickles of blood. I let my face drop back into the pillow of bundled up liners, still soggy and red-brown from a night and half a day of bleeding into them. Gregor's arrival heralds by those familiar heavy footfalls making their way up the porch steps. The front door swings open, and having noticed I'm awake, my cousin gives me a diagnosis of my condition. You got your ass kicked. I let out a groan. Some of them cups look pretty deep. Should have washed them with soap so they don't get green. I ran a hand over the small of my back, feeling at the quilt work of scabs there. Something for me to remember those catch-me's by. Gregor's advice is compelling, but so is more shut-eye. I encircle an arm under the linens to pile them up more, then bury my face in their folds. There's a fresh pail of water, I hear him tempt me. Come on, you slug a bed. Up and at him. Gregor grabs me by the armpits and pulls me backwards from the bench. I manage to stand up for a moment, but only for just that very moment. My cousin catches me by the shoulders and steadies me. Easy there. Let's go get you cleaned up. I wrestled around in Gregor's grip and turned to face him. Give me a heartbeat, will you? Crone's teeth. Gregor let me drop with a shout of surprise. I assumed that would be him discovering the claw mark. Gregor takes another step back. When I raise my head to look at him, his finger swings up and over his breast in a semicircle. Hey! He produces an unconvincing chuckle. That'll leave a nice scar. I raise a hand to my cheek. My fingers come back wet, and by the desperate twist in my cousin's faint grin, I know that my last chance to return to normalcy had come and gone. The weird had marked me now. The signature scrawled upon my face is unmistakable. Well, come on, let's get you. Gregor hefts me up by the armpits again. Outside, he grunts, opening the door with a mule kick. Ah, Gregor. So glad you haven't changed, man. Well, under the loosest possible definition of change, everybody changes, I suppose. I'm dragged onto the porch and laid out like a sack of grain, and with the same gentle manner the stevedore might use for such cargo. The scent of sawdust and mold is strong here on the deck floor. Gregor dunks a bar of soap into the wash, sending a few droplets across my face. I let my head loll to one side and squint my eyes again against the high sun. Above, remote agents across the macrocosm pass in movements unfettered by its temporal winding, a great blue vista into the unending and unbroken, and a confirmation that my small part in the dance is not yet ended. Today is a beautiful day. I find myself closing my eyes once again. Alright, Jorgen, I sure as hell ain't gonna bathe you. Gregor nudges my oblique with the toe of his boot, striking a sore spot and igniting the tender nerves there. Get up. I prop myself up on an elbow. Here you go. Gregor tosses the soap to me, landing it in my lap. Its moisture soaks through my trousers and runs down the inside of my thigh. You're... Gregor's eyes trace the thin red lace lines that crisscross my torso. Whatever the question was, he lets it fizzle. I draw the bar of soap along my shoulders and wipe circles onto my chest. Gregor assists by upending the wash bucket over my head. The cool water gives me a start, but I feel alive again. Well, enough to stand on my own 2 feet anyway. I take a seat on the banister, startling at the discovery of further thorn cuts on my buttocks, and wash the dry blood from my face. Where water remains in the wash bucket soon turns a light pink. I just changed that thing too. That don't look good at all, he adds, and gives my back a poke. I inhale sharply at the touch. Don't! Almost looks like you got 10 with a switch of hawthorn. I don't comment on the theory. I reach over my shoulders and drag the soap along my back again, letting the suds run freely and soak into the waistband of my trousers. Them ones on your face will get the green for sure if you don't get something on them. Here, Gregor drags his fingernails along the bar, scraping up a peel of it. What are you doing? I ask as he crushes the soap, using his palm and forefinger like some primitive mortar and pestle. Gonna shove soap into them cuts. Soap keeps stuff clean, so you want as much as you can get in there. Come on, I'll get you back. My cousin doesn't strike me as a learned man of medicine. He sounded confident, though. I lean forward and wince as my cousin plasters the cuts. Then I take a scrape of the bar myself and go to work packing the claw mark. That'll do for now, he announces, clapping his hands off on his thighs. There's a barber surgeon on C Street that's friendly with the boys. Goes by Stitcher. He'll get you seaworthy again. Left side of the street. 4th or 5th house from the quarter wall. Tell him who sent you, and maybe think about getting a haircut while you're over there. You look like an old broom. A nice ready cut like mine. How's that grab you? Gregor pushes his finger through the close-cropped hair on one side of his head. The white walls were once mandatory for men embarking on the raids. Oh crap. But my cousin never stepped foot on the raiding craft. Nor would he, or so he's claimed before. Perhaps some dreams can't be stopped, always springing up again by strange means. Alright, what about my coin though? I'm gonna need the coppers. Looks he's got it, he'll pay up. And he's, alright with everything? Gregor grins. For a moment he seemed poised to clap me on the back, but he catches himself. Come on, looks you don't think you're a bad raider. Oh, the Sith came by earlier with some of your crap. Gregor directs my attention to the items left atop his stolen cargo boxes. Need these? Yeah, my pouches should be somewhere around here too. Gregor pushes open the door and sticks his head inside. Yep, they're right up there. Oh, they're right here. And Crone's teeth, Jorgen. Gregor holds my pouches up to his face with one further item, the borrowed crossbow. Well, what the hell's this? Crossbow? Don't get fucking cute with me. It's one of ours. Where'd you get it? I heard you talking about the dry dock, so... Gregor's nostrils flare. I have expect steam to come billowing out. So I borrowed it. My cousin inhales through his nose, holds it for a heartbeat, and then lets it out. I'm gonna tell you something, Jorgen. Listen good. When you piss the bed, at first it's warm, but then it gets real cold. I needed it, Gregor. Listen, I ain't kidding. If it hadn't been for that crossbow, and you ain't reckon you should, I don't know, ask somebody first? I'm about to toss off some further excuses, but my cousin waves the weapon and pouches about in the air to silence me. Okay. You know what? Maybe it's better you ain't told nobody. And you better not tell nobody. Ever. You hear? He throws my load-bearing belt into my lap, then takes off down the port steps and towards the boat sheds. And get a damn haircut, he yells, wearing a hunchback with the crossbow tucked under his shirt. I take one of my shirts down from the clothesline and felt it between my thumb and forefinger. It's still damp, but far more suitable than the one draped over the banister that's with its rips and bloodstains. Oh, all my stuff is back. That's all that was. My items are arrayed in neat little rows on Gregor's box. Sif's handiwork. A quick inventory reveals that nothing is gone missing from the collection. Reckon this be a good time to get my coins from Luxie. Coins. Shit! In the last game in the fight, there was a monster that flipped over every coin you threw at him, so we used that as a distraction. And now they're all gone. Of course somebody grabbed them all. Why wouldn't they? I produced something of a half-bit, half-cuss, and sent the spoke of a wagon wheel spinning through the crabgrass with a kick. It comes to a stop in a patch of mud, one bearing a strange footprint. The alleyway is still blanketed in the signs of last night's struggle. I try to piece together my memories of the encounter, but it all seems oddly distant now. I can only grasp at embers of it, the shaking in my legs, my parley with Sif, the razor scrapes of the cashmere against my skin. I'm halfway glad that Christy is not here to see me screw up on words. Not after all the crap I gave her. Some of what she does deserve. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Hold on one second. Wait. Mute. Looking at something. Give me a second, guys. Yeah. Okay. So it turns out, YouTube just decided to work. Okay. Oh, Christ. That's pleasant. I just decided to check YouTube and it's, I don't know. I don't know anymore. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to switch over to YouTube. Because the boobs haven't happened yet. And, I want to get this recorded on YouTube. So, although I am pleasantly surprised that Twitch is working as well. That is nice. So, I'm literally stopping halfway through a stream to start a stream. I'm pretty sure that's unprofessional, but nobody's gonna tell anybody, right? Right? We're good? Good. So, yeah. I will, pick this. Let me go to YouTube where I can get it just everything nice and recorded and done. Wait, is Twitch not saving as a VOD? It is. But I want to be sure. Also, hey, Katie. But yeah, can you download the recording from VOD? I probably could, couldn't I? And I haven't run into any issues. Yeah, let me not jinx it. Maybe I shouldn't jinx it before I press any more buttons. Because I was thinking, since it's working now, I can just switch over. But no, I'll just upload the VOD. Because if I go over to YouTube and I start getting issues, and I've been going through the entire game with no issues, I'm going to have a fit. Oh, try morning is here, everybody. So what's going on in here? Well, I was thinking, no, actually, more issues? No issues so far. But I was thinking about going to YouTube for like 5 seconds because it looked like the code was starting to work a little bit, the server code. But I think I'm going to keep it on here for now because, I mean, I'm having no issues at all. Yes. Katie is here. I have no Twitch audience at all. We got to build it up from scratch. Try you notice. And yeah, even though the boob thing hasn't happened yet, this is probably the safest place to stream it. So yeah, let's just keep going. I can only grasp at embers of it. The shaking in my legs. Oh yeah, I already read that. And the agony of my face being torn. I raise a hand to my wound in quiet awe, struck dumb by the vision. Still. No moves yet. No, so let Mike know that, but here's the thing. This chapter is, and never mind, try, it's gone. This chapter is relatively short. I think I knocked it out, and I was not rushing through it. I think I knocked it out in less than 4 hours. The first act was, I think, 6 or 7. So, honestly, if I put my mind to it, I could probably knock this entire game out in one hit tonight. We'll see. But definitely when we get to that part, I'll have to figure out some sort of censorship solution, or just, you know, I don't know. It's just, maybe this will be one of the things where it's just boobs, and hopefully Twitch doesn't haul that hammer down too hard. I squint, searching for those shapes again. And to my surprise, it's easy to find them. I reach out and stroke one of the vines, remembering the feel of it, trying to picture the scene about me as it once was, swathed and weird. But soon it all fades again. I'm left with nothing but the buzzing of bees and short grass tilting in the wind. Daylight masks the other face, for men's eyes grow overconfident beneath the sun. But it's here. It's always here, waiting to be found. And in light of this greater picture, my lost coppers don't seem all that important. I cross the alleyway towards the old harbor master's office, and I raise a hand to the door, but then hesitate. Sound like Luxie's already within a heated discussion inside. Listen. You know we can't. 4 days, someone says, cutting him off. That sounds like Sif. I rap lightly on the door, and the voices stop. Well, you can tell him yourself. I've come to collect. Yeah. Luxie freezes in his boots at the side of my face. Sif told me that our little fox problem's been taken care of. And my coin. Huh. Didn't reckon I was hiring 2 pouches. Sif joined us. Sif is huge! Good lord, man. Sif joins us, arms crossed. Look, he begins. I ain't seeing how this is my problem. Told you I had Jorgen here because y'all were taking too long, you hear? So don't go putting it on like I'm cheating you. I don't work for free, Luxie. Me neither. Understandable. So of course y'all worked out things between the two of you before doubling down, right? Cause I got 1 pouch to pay here, and it was Jorgen's contract. Of course, if you want to split it with old Sif here, then that's your business. That gag ain't gonna play. Pay up. Y'all threatening me? Me? Luxie's funnier? I didn't get to where I am today for having a weak grip. Not on my coins, not on my life. I reckon I'll be keeping this then, I tell him, pulling the necklace from my pouch. Could get my pay out of hawking this thing, you think? Luxie frowns and says nothing. Fanair, be reasonable about this. There are only 3 Walkermen left in this city-state now. And if you lose one, you will lose all. Is it really worth coming up empty-handed should another fox get loose? Luxie's eyes go wild. You threatened to stick one of them on me now. Sif and I exchange glances. Is that it? Got another of your friends set aside for me. Fanair, Sif says icily. I'll give you the benefit of ignoring those words. But you're gonna pay us, or you can catch the next one yourself, you understand? This ain't alms work. It's starting to sound like me, Jorgen. And I can respect where you're coming from. Luxie crosses his arms. But we got problems in the harbor, you know? I can't raise a single copper. Not with... You've seen what's just over the horizon. Yes, I ran into the captain this morning. Can't spare a single copper, Luxie says, repeating himself. So I'll be taking this to market then, I ask, giving the necklace a shake. Surely, that's worth at least as much as our payment. Luxie crosses his arms tighter, and perhaps it's just his height, but I find that the act makes him look like some petulant child. Fine. Yes, you'll agree? I said fine! Luxie flings open the door and leaves it open on his way inside. Through the doorway, I watched the little crime boss stomp through the old harbor master's office, treading over some ornate carpets and dodging around in a low-hung and out-of-place looking chandelier. He returned the heartbeat later, throwing the coin pouch into the air, catching it again. An adolescent effort to save face. Alright. I'm paying Jorgen for the contract, and you just shut up. Now, the necklace. Pleasure doing business with you. Luxie says nothing, and hands Sif a second bag from his tunic. Thank you, Fanair. Fine, whatever. Y'all ain't worth the trouble anyway. Just get out of here. Where are you heading to now? Sif asks as we reach the road. Footprints, man and not man, still dance before the sea gate, albeit marred by the passage of meal carts. Sif follows my gaze, and the Walkerman is still staring at the boot prints when I answer him. Gotta go get my face stitched up. Good idea. But come by the well tonight, before dusk. If you have any questions about the trade, I'll answer them then. Hey, it's these guys. Well, that one looks like Chris, and the other one looks like Chris's dad, so, somewhat familiar, I suppose. I nearly catch Captain Olaf with the hatch on my way through the sea gate. The officer sidesteps out of the way with a swiftness uncanny for his age, then fixes me with a stare and a wiggle of his mustache. Giving my new face to once over, I reckon, though the guardsman keeps his bearing. Walkerman, I see you've been busy. Still living out of the harbor. Only been here a few days, so ain't found the time nor the coin to look for another place yet. You best hurry. I take it you're on good terms with the boys? I resolve to say nothing. Silence is guilt, Palcher. The captain sighs and combs a hand through his peppered beard. Do you assent to the dictation of the social constructs, Walkerman? I do, sir. I'll take that with a grain of salt. Raiders will say those words without hesitation, but the meeting seems lost on them. We need the constructs, Palcher. Our raider needs them as much as he needs food and drink. Without bread and water, we will die. Without law and order, we will also die. A fate worse than death, even. You can't imagine how far off course we've already drifted. When I was a child. What? Oh, excuse me. I'm getting wrestling news from Christy. Wait, what? Wait. So, hold on. Kyrie, okay. I guess they're setting up for an Io Shirai and Shayna feud. Ember, that's fine. They were not using her on Raw anyway. Bailey? Ow. Wait to kill ears. Sorry, try. I'm backing away from the mic. It's just an interesting book. I think they're just, well, there's a lot that will go into that little bit of wrestling news. Hence the Untitled Wrestling Podcast, which will be coming back to an audio wave near you. We'll have to talk about it eventually. Oh, there I go. The old man telling stories. You don't care a dram, do you? I ain't no degenerate, sir. I tell him, it's not a protest I can manage. And why are you living with thieves, then? I pivot a boot around in the dust. I just need to. Can you explain wrestling to us real quick? Okay, so basically, a professional wrestling organization is going through something of a draft, and different performers are going to different shows. That's really all you need to know. And some of them make sense. The ones that Chrissy just laid out make no sense. It makes no sense at all. But who are we to question the logic of management? We're not animals here. We follow the social constructs. We're good raiders. Ain't that right, Try? Try knows what I'm talking about. Captain Olaf Harumps. I just need to. Well, if I had a copper for every time I heard that excuse. No matter. We can't expect y'all to pull yourselves up by the bootstraps. Surf kind will be surf kind, after all. Open my mouth for a heartbeat, but then resign myself to red-faced silence. I hope you're further willing to rejoin society peacefully. I said it before and I'll say it again. This decade of lawlessness is coming to an end. And those who stand in the way will soon stand on the scaffold. Captain Olaf coughs into his fist. Well, don't let me keep you, Raider. I'll take a look at some of the Freeman's apartments, sir. Don't worry about it. Everything here will be returned to its proper place soon enough. Anyway, go on. He shoots me. I don't wait for the captain to ask twice, taking off with an almost whispered, "Aye, aye, sir." As I make my way up C Street, now teeming with these midday crowds, our pouches go a-bumping and a-rattling off my thighs like bells on a cat, letting all the little birds know who's coming around. The winces, the stares. I'm no longer greeted by the discourteous turning of heads, but with a new emotion. Fear. I raise a hand to touch the wound, and I discover that, truth be told, I prefer the new reception it's getting me. It does save us a lot of time, doesn't it? This is a little Freeman's shop at the Boulevard's end. It's woodcutting, a pair of scissors laid out across the bandage tells me I found the right place. I give it a few knocks. "Who's that?" a voice calls from within. "A Walkerman," I holler back. "I'm with a patient right now." "But you are the one they call Stitcher, right? Your name came recommended." Now doesn't he look imperious? A well-dressed Freeman tilts the door open a heartbeat later. "Stitcher, you say? Reckon I know who sent you then." He opens the door a bit further when he gets a look at me. "Are you in pain?" "Can't you guess?" "Nasty cuss you have there." "Looking there and going to turn green?" Not yet. Starting to scab. You should have come sooner." The barber presses his face closer and screws his eyes up at my cheek. "And what's this shit?" I stuffed soap into it." "You stuffed soap in it?" "That's what I said." The barber shakes his head. "All right, I'll be with you in a short while. Have you got the coin on hand to pay for these stitches?" Come to think of it, I probably don't. "How much we're talking here?" "Let's call it 8. And just give me a haircut instead." The barber laughs in his throat. "You're a special kind, aren't you? Most men in your profession are. And I remember every poucher that's darkened my door. But I don't remember you. You're new. I've been here a few days. Well, I don't misdoubt that you'll be a regular customer of mine. We're inside for a bit, and we'll make it 5. "And that's with the haircut?" The barber laughs again. "Come inside. We're gonna grab lunch first if you ain't ready for me yet." "Suit yourself. Don't get anything else in those cuts." Stitcher closes the door behind him. 5 damn copper for some stitches. Should've just asked a seamstress. Is that Jorgen I see there? Boar! I will never know how to pronounce this man's name. I turn around and give Boar a start. It's probably Boar. Mother of mercy. Yeah, I took care of that fox problem. Boar let out a low whistle. I can see that. That's the kind you wear for life. Don't I know it? Anyways, saw you standing there and thought I'd say boo. I reckon you're not here for a haircut. And some stitches. Actually. But the barber's busy. I fixed him to go get a bite when he finishes up in there. What, with your face like that? Yeah? He said it ain't gonna turn green yet. Might as well. Can't fault that logic. Well, I was just heading for the communal myself. Come on, my treat. Got something to, talk to you about, anyhow. Say no more. You had me when you said it was your treat. Oh, something's boiling. Give me a second, guys. No, I was making tea. All right, I did. I thought I wasn't. It's not that bad yet. We haven't even gotten to the crazy parts of this game. I was just making a pot of tea. I didn't want it to boil over. It started boiling a bit though, so hopefully it didn't burn the tea. Type of tree. Just your regular English black. Nice and simple. Just had a taste for it. Oh, Chrissy, stop. Of course, my brother's the one with the estate to his name. Boris slices the herring, then turns it around on his fork and checks for any little bones. Hey, JP, what did I do? Christy, what did I do? Really? Man can't boil some tea? But I'm the one that inherited Dad's wits. I'll tell you that for free. My brother, that raider can't manage a business. Probably couldn't manage a three-legged goat unless he blindfolded it first. What didn't you do? No reckon you brought me here to talk about your family. A bee enters the communal and hovers near Bora's chest, provoking the freeman to abandon his stool in a hurry. Damn, you see that thing? Big as a bird. Anyways, if you're looking for more work, then I've got something in mind. I lower my fork, a bit of herring still skewered on it, and look Bora in the eye. And what kind of work would that be? Folks around here have been having trouble sleeping at night. I pick my fork back up and stare at Bora while I pull a morsel from it with my teeth. Teeth, close enough. You ain't thought to bring this up before? Well, I was gonna. But first he wanted directions, and then we went and started talking to Luxie. And then... Bora shrugs. So this has been an issue going on since the first game. Basically, because everything he just described happened in the first game. Figured I'd just wait my turn. But seeing as how you were between contracts now. And there I thought he was just helping the writer out. I should have guessed. Networking. None of you thought to ask the cult? That's the first thing I did, Raider. Haven't heard anything back from him for almost half a moon now. Hang on. What do you mean it's the first thing you did? Why are you in charge? Because I'm the one who grabbed the rudder Raider. I don't get a lot of chances to prove I can get things done. An opportunity like this. Wasn't going to pass it up. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, you know. So, what do you say? Fixing on visiting the mood today anyhow. I'll talk to him. Well, why talk to him when you can talk to me? Think I can't pay you? No, but I've been in the city-state for almost a quarter moon now without so much as asking after the contracts. And? No, we cannot hold hands with Bror. What? And I can't keep sidestepping him, Bror. Okay, I'm not saying you can't talk to the cult. Do whatever you need to do on your own time. But we need help now, Jorgen. Right now. And trust me, the folks around here will pack a full purse for it. I glance around and I glance out across the market, searching for any signs of worry in the faces there. The Raider's suffering silence attitude makes it difficult to find any tells. Yet the balding Freeman is oddly absent from his awning this afternoon. His wife has been left running the communal, and she's a poor actress. Yawning constantly, dark rings under her eyes. Clearly eavesdropping too. Listen, roar. We'll get to it soon, I'm sure. But I gotta start roaring through the proper channels now. Y'all know how it is. Oh, I know exactly how it is. That's why I want to speed things up a little. Come on, I know you're not against taking corn on the side. Alright, tell you what. I'll ask the code if there's contracts for something around North Market. Can't promise they'll give it to me, but I'll promise they'll ask. I'll ask. Roar seems nonplussed at first, but then twists his mouth into a grin. Huh, maybe that'll work. Or maybe I'll have to find someone else. But I'd sure like to tell folks that we've got a real blood legacy of a Walkerman working on it. Roar paused as expecting some reaction out of me. Really, Raider? Huh? And maybe I should just get a different poucher after all. What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Never mind. The balding Freeman approaches. His wife looks ready to abandon the awning for his scullery, but the Freeman waves her away and comes to collect the dishes himself. I lean back at him to collect my plate, but the Freeman pauses with his hands on the table, and I soon realize that his attention is on Bror. For a moment, the pair look as if they're attempting to communicate slowly through blinks and eyebrow wiggles. Still working on it, thanks. Bror raises his hand off the table and waves two fingers. Alrighty then. You gonna be around tonight? I venture, hoping to smooth over any sore feelings. With Freeman, the line between partners and friends is often blurred. I can't afford to lose either. At the whale? Bror pauses. I reckon I can drop by. Gregor will be there. Guarantee it. You can tell him about the platinum market, or whatever. Yeah, I figured I could turn it around. Just need to get my hands on one of the deeds, or at least a senior clerk position. I had planned on leaving as soon as lunch was over, but a comment piques my interest. How is that? The way I see it, Platinum's like Midgard's unmarried daughter. She's got what it takes, just need folks to see it. Get her painted up a little bit. Sure, Platinum won't mint, and Midgard isn't making armaments anymore, but that sounds like a flexibility problem to me. That's another rule of business. If there's no demand, you gotta make one. You don't just sit on a huge pile of platinum and mope because folks ain't lining up to buy it. Well, what do you got planned? Nothing I care to spill yet. But before folks realize they could light whale oil, you reckon railers were out in droves hunting for them? No, I don't reckon so. I'll find something. I'm the brains of the family after all, Bror says. He seems to tell himself this more than me. And with that, the Freeman resumes pushing a half-eaten herring around his clay plate. Alright then, I gotta get to the barber's. And I'll have to call about the North Market, promise. Nah, don't worry about it. There's another poucher that's been asking around anyways. I'm about to ask him whether it's stiff or bald, but I feel a hand on my shoulder. Hey, look who it is! Sied. Glad you managed to remember my name. Glad you managed to remember my name. If I could pull off a Valley Girl accent, I would do it. Because this is clearly supposed to be a Valley Girl accent, but not my forte. Bror's eyes nearly bug out of their sockets. You know her? Kinda. No, not kinda. Sied pivots around me and gasps. What happened to your face? Practice that, Valley Girl. Try no. You're gonna get me in trouble. If it's with those, Sied trails off, perhaps noticing the peculiarity of the wound. Well, that'll need stitches. And what's this? And what's this? This ain't like soap scum, is it? Sied frowns and presses his thumb against my cheek. I think I'm going to get going, Bror says suddenly. I'm Bror, by the way. Bror, son of Declan Platinum and Lumber. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Sied replies without sparing a glance for the boy. So, about yesterday, Sied says nothing. I reckon it's too much to hope that she doesn't care about me going around with Kaula. Well, if she isn't interested in bringing it up, then neither am I. I'll fix you up, she announces. I was just on my way to the barber's. And you ain't no midwife? I can sew. I don't know better than to, pack a cut with soap scum. I'll do it. Come with me. I have everything we'll need at home. I look up, glancing at the sun and raising a hand to block the glare. There isn't too much light left in the day. It won't take long, she promises, having guessed my concern. Your dad ain't gonna mind me? He ain't around. Come on, she says again, and reaches for my elbow. Now this is the one issue I kind of have with the game, and it'll come into play later. There are choices the game wants you to make, and choices that shuts off those options, to put it nicely. And they clearly mark it. That'll become an issue with it'll come an issue with an issue. Because there's a choice that I don't want to have to make later. But I might go ahead and do it. It's really creepy though. We know what to pick. Yeah. I obliged the girl, and soon we were walking arm in arm through Midgard's alleyways. This ain't the way to the gate. I don't like using the gate. Well then, where are we going? This way, she answers coyly. Mother of mercy. How long's this been there? A while now. I lean forward and inspect the breach. It's nearly 3 shoulders wide and tunnels all the way through the siege wall. You ain't told the boots about this? No. Will you? I'll put a hand on one of the overhanging stones and give it a shake. It shifts in its place like a bad tooth and dribbles mortar across my forearm. It's hard to believe that such a thing could go unnoticed for long, especially by young boys who seem drawn to this sort of hazard with an almost scholarly enthusiasm, forgetting themselves trapped and maimed. Somebody needs to fix this, a mason or something. It could bring the whole wall down. Sure, maybe later, Sid replies and ushers me through. Yeah, there's disrepair and like the city is just rotting inside and out. The other side of the breach is hidden by a veil of weeds. Pushing past them, I discover that the wield has written up the wall's perimeter here. Little wonder why the guards haven't discovered the problem then. They haven't cut here in half a decade by the looks of it, let alone patrolled. So Christy, what do you think? Do you think there's going to be a cruiserweight championship by the end of this year? I think they're about to phase that out. I think that, and this is completely random professional wrestling nonsense, but I don't think Vince ever liked it. I think that was a Triple H project. I think that Vince is done giving them airtime, and especially with the deal with Fox, it's gone. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think it's done. Which is a shame, because if they used the cruiserweights right, it would have been a really nice addition to the show. Yeah, there won't be a separate show for them anymore. Yeah, but the thing is, they never ever used them right. And this is even going back to when they had the original Cruiserweight Championship on Raw it was SmackDown in the 2000s, early 2000s. They never used them right. And it's not Vince's thing. He does not like booking cruiserweights. I get it, but at the same time, it's a good addition to the show if you just let them be them. And the shame of it is that the show really was coming around. It was a really good show. And doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter in the corporate machinery of things. Sia emerges from the ruined masonry behind me with her usual absent smile. There are more holes in the walls than just this one, you know? And the boots ain't too worried about none of them. So I figured it's like none of our concern either. Sia gathers her dress in one hand and motions me along with the other. Don't recall there being any villages this way? Right. You, ain't gonna tell me where we're going, are you? Right this way, Jorgen. It ain't far. We pick our way through the well for quite some time, adjusting our bearings at the occasional boulder or dead tree that uses as guides. Damn, is all I can say when we finally arrive. Huh. I'm getting a real... What's a character I can use here that's appropriate? I'm getting a real Luna Lovegood feeling from Sid right now. Could be random. You like it? Wait right here. I'll get you a drink. I take a seat on one of the stump chairs and gather around the place. And now to you in the forest solitude, cottage budding from the trunk like some great burrow, a fitting backdrop for any number of tall tales. Like, I don't know, the ones about witches in the forest. That seems oddly appropriate right now, I'm just saying. Festooning the trees' lower branches in a way of solstice lanterns. With each absent twist on the line, their warped pattern of sunlight shimmer and slide, casting the strange scene in yet more dreamlike hues. As far as I can tell, This isn't the extent of the homestead, if one could even call it that. There are no crops in sight, nor any clear trees, not even so much as a spade. A hideout then? But why the lanterns? Sid returns, opening the door with her rear and backing out of it. She carries with her some white linen and a roll of kit. She releases an opaque clay bottle from her armpit and sets it down on the stump. A wooden cup comes next. Just the one. Sid begins to pour. You ain't having none? This ain't for me, she replies, recorking the bottle. Well, I don't really take to the pots, which is a damn lie. You were drunk half of Act 1. Come on, man. This ain't the pots, neither. With that, Sid rolls her kit out, unveiling an assortment of thread, needles, scissors, and tie-downs. Suddenly the sort of tools that might make a daughter useful to a highwayman. Lie down if you would, Jorgen. Mind telling me what you're doing first? Don't trust me? I'm just going to give you a little something that'll put you to sleep so I can see your face back together. Or so. We're going to go with so. Please, she says, gesturing again for me to lie down. This ain't going to knock me out for long, is it? Just long enough for me to finish. Ain't like I can't take the pain. It'll go fast if you just sleep for it. Alright, I agree and shift onto the stump table. Sia presses the cup into my hands. It's tiny, like something for shooting vodka. I make the mistake of sniffing it. Ugh. What is this stuff? Jorgen, stop fussing. Sia pushes the cup into my hands again. Keep leading me around by the nose. Will you please just drink? You ain't trust me? If you don't like me, then just say so. I won't mind. I look at Sia. I look at the scalpel in her kit, the glint on its edge. Look at my cup again, and the foul-smelling liquid spilling around in there. Whatever. I already grabbed the oar, so I might as well row. I plug my nose, and despite my best effort, I still get a taste of the stuff, as if I upended one of Midgard's back alleys and took a swig. Sid takes the little cup from my hands, and my eyes gloss over. Interesting point of view. And placing her head upon my forehead, she lays me down. Way down. Down, to a starless sky of slumber. To starless skies of slumber. Try saying that 5 times fast. Faintly, I'm aware of something being wiped over my cheek. The pain is there, but distant somehow, as if it was someone else feeling it. And come a calling from the vast empty, I hear a voice. When I first saw you, you know? Didn't take me long, the pouches. As I fall further into death's gentle sister, I hear the beginnings of a wordless vagabond song. When I open my eyes again, the scene is still lit, though it feels like it should be deep at night already. You awake? I hear Sid ask. I sit upright, taking in a blurred inventory of my surroundings. Bloody claws, threaded needle, Sid's serene mask of a face. I raise a hand to my cheek, and I know I'm touching the wound, but I can't feel my hand there. Can't feel a thing anywhere. I try to say something, but my throat feels like it's been stopped with a cork. Water? Right here. The cup is handed to me and I drink freely. Why is my shirt off? I was taking a look at your other cuts. The ones you, must have forgot to tell me about. Sia pours the cup again. Don't worry, I took care of everything. I massage my esophagus and try swallowing again, taking in the thick feeling of it. I gotta get back before nightfall, I said suddenly. You can leave anytime you like. I mean, if you really need to. How much I owe you? Jorgen, just stop, alright? Stop being a stranger like that. Okay, I reply hoarsely, then grab my shirt from the stump and throw it on. The pouches and the load-bearing belt come next, albeit slowly and only after a few tries. You do need to come back to me, though, so that I can, check on how they're healing up. I will. I stand but wobbly-like, and Sid is quick to my side. She circles her arms around my waist, hugging me tightly and pressing her meager chest against my arm. Maybe you shouldn't walk back. I gotta meet Sif. I promised. And you always keep your promises. Sid's face remains wooden. Thanks again. Not a problem at all, Walkerman, she says, and after a moment further hesitation, lets me go. My mind clears as I cut through the world, guided along by Sierra's landmarks. The trek to the city-state is mercifully short this time, but finding the bridge again isn't easy. It would... There's just something about Sid is just off. Like, maybe it's normal to some people, but hey, that's why I was saying she needed the Valley Girl accent. When I finally pull free of the rubble, I turn to reflect on Sierra's needs for such a thing. She ain't supposed to be in the city-state. Oh, wait. I reckon I'm in no position to judge. But between Sierra's odd mannerisms, absent father, and forest hideout, whatever that girl's deal is, it isn't clean. 1 second. Just needed a bit of tea there. Just a little bit to get by. The last leg of my trip home had me winding hastily through Midgard's arteries, spurred on by the dying light. Soon I hear the warning cries, the young boys with their high voices. Vespers, Vespers. They come a-calling from the Orioles overhead, and bound through the alleyways in barefoot sprints. Some sound near, others far, some quick and others stretching, like the piping of birdsong. The evening retreat had begun from Midgard. My passage is accompanied by the percussion of shutting doors and bearing hatches. Soon the streets are left silent and deserted, save for one groggy poucher feeling his way through the dimming, dirt-floored maze. The path before me is lit only by the glow of nearby small houses. Surfkind gathered round the candlelight for Vespers. I trudge along, gazing upon the same scene repeated 12 dozen times over. Men seated around the table, wives and children posted against the walls, their house sergeant leading them in evening prayers. Again and again, the same window diorama, the same taunting display of warmth and family. But I am not alone. Shoot footfalls revealed another out after Vespers, stumbling along the same dark path. I find that I recognize the man, or pale imitation thereof. Hey, you! Oh, evening, Raider. Gave me a bit of a scare there. He stumbles this way, joining me beneath the glow of nearby windows. Beyond his pain, the surfkind are just finishing for the night. As they quit the common room, the candlelight conjures up grand... Good grief. Libations? I mean, that's as old-timey words get. Jesus Christ. Grand libations of humanity onto the street. Arms around shoulders, mouths open in laughter, a parade of many acute angles in motion. These shapes pass over the drunken and I in black and towering forms. Then the light is gone, and with it the procession of giants. All along the street, the other yellow bright windows soon wink out and turn. We are left alone in the darkness. I was just on my way home, he explains in a slurred voice, and I'd hate to lean on a fellow raider, but my father was a freeman and then he got sick. I ain't got nothing left but my clothes. Can you help me? I sure can. Jorgen, what are you about to do? And why don't we get a choice? He pats a bit closer. Just need a little bit of coin to help me back to the boat. Come here. Even just 1 copper. Never mind. Jorgen, now is not the time to be an asshole. My punch hits him square on the chin and he goes down. I advance, fist balled, but the drunk is already out for the night. His head lolled to one side, coming to rest in a puddle. His muddy water pools in his agape mouth. I glance around, finding the scene quiet and blind. No witnesses. And I look again upon the degenerate dropped in the dirt before me. The twitching lenses repose an uncanny insect-like quality. Another deplorable legacy of the raider kind. A dead end drowning in a hand's breadth of stagnant water. You know, your forebears fought at Jotunheim. All ours did. And a raider around that can't claim that. The degenerate gasps and gurgles. I grab a fistful of his hair. I don't know why. And I drag his face out of the puddle and leave him there at his side. Like, okay, so if that guy comes back with a knife or something, Jorgen, and we could have avoided it, I'm just saying. There's a lot of problems that we can avoid around here. The pot house has just begun to stir to life, with gangs of sailors drifting in through its doors and jockeying for the empty seats. Our table remains oddly deserted, save for a figure in a long coat. He sits surrounded by stools that no one has dared ask for. Sit. I take one of the stools. Olga appears from the back room with a curious frown. 2, please, he tells her. Make that 1. Olga nods quickly and turns right around. I told you I didn't drink it no more. From the slur in your voice, it sounds like you've already started for the night. But suit yourself. You had questions? Yeah. Sid fetches a match from his long coat and strikes it along the table's grain. It is spilled, he says, around his pipe, and dips the flame in his bowl. I'm about to let loose when Olga arrives again, train high. She sets the pot down for sips and let her gaze linger for a moment on my sewed-up face before hurrying off to other tables. The pot house will be getting crowded soon. We won't be able to talk discreetly for long. Alright, first of all, better save right here. I will only have so many questions I can ask. We'll make 8 the page that we do this particular adventure on. Start with this one. When I went back to the alleyway this morning, I saw those catch-me's again. Yes, that might happen from time to time. Try to forget about it. It doesn't matter anymore than last year's snow. I'm trying. Don't go by the alleyway anymore, or even look that way if you're the type to ruminate. But it's over now, right? That thing's gone. It is, but you have to understand how the weird works. It isn't a pimple. It doesn't just pop and disappear. It's ever present and present everywhere. Once you've caught a glimpse of it, you'll need to discipline yourself into forgetting that it's there. Thankfully, our fellow raiders tend to forget the weird out of habit alone. That is a fortunate circumstance. There's never much cleanup to do with Midgard. But if you grow too familiar with its shapes, start seeking them out, well, hopefully you'll go mad. That's the most lenient result. Seth takes a drag on his pipe and watches his words sink in. Anyway, I have questions of my own. Where did you get that leather hauberk? And why were you wearing it last night? It's clearly a reproduction of the old Helheim crap. The old Helheim Kuriboili? That's what we're going with. Kuriboili. Hibernian calfskin, judging by the coloration. More of a stage costume than actual armor. Thank you. I thought I had a hard enough time pronouncing words an aviary attorney. Christ. But why were you wearing it? A thumb of hard leather isn't going to save you from them, you know. Was there a rule? No rule. Just a habit, I guess. My dad gave it to me. I never really gave it a second thought as to why I was wearing it. Well, I reckon a hauberk is one reason he had so much trouble with those briars last night, given that it's a memento. But that's all in the past. I'm terrible at pronunciation. See, here's the thing. And Katie, you are a visual novel developer. What is it with visual novel developers throwing in words and little idiosyncrasies from other languages in their novels? I mean, I suppose they argue authenticity, but this is a dark fantasy novel. Why are they trying to make it authentic? I need to hear someone. Yeah, just Koulibaly. That's gonna stick with me for a minute. Well, how are we gonna hop? Yeah, I already read that. But that's all in the past. So, let me see. Oh. Something tells me we will only wear that every now and then now. Good to know all the same. But the thing is that also represents a great deal of symbolism. Like, because in the first game, he would not take that thing off at all. Now he's taking that off, so he's slowly loosening up and kind of melding in with the culture of Midgard. Although I'm sure he hates himself for it. So your father was also in the trade? I'm curious because I once knew another with a similar chess piece back when I first stepped foot on this path. Another pack of sailors entered through the front door. One of Lux's cronies had gotten drunk enough to slide a stool out from our table. Time was running short. My general rule is, if a VN is set in, say, France, I won't have the character speak French if there's an English variant of the word. Thank you! Thank you very much. The critics in this room appreciate you for that little bit of just pure logic. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. Common sense. Especially if you were watching, yeah, you were there with, but that won't always be the case. There are some French words that don't have an English variation. But, pain au chocolat, like an aviator attorney, a lot of those words did have English variants. They just wanted to throw in, like, Jacques Noir and Castagier. And there are certain lines of SmackDown. Why? He was so well. Hopefully they do something with him on SmackDown, man. I don't think he's wrestled in like a year. So hopefully they do something with him. Let's just chalk that up to our good fortune, hopefully. Dude deserves a couple of titles. Another pack of sailors entered through the front door. One of Lucy's cronies again drunk enough to slide. Oh yeah, I heard that. I'll tell you if you answer one more question for me. Go ahead. I ain't ever dealt with the cult before. Not for contracts anyway. Anything I should know? Yeah, it's a fairly straightforward process. Go there in the morning when it's least crowded. The cult prefers to keep these meetings under wraps. You'll be given an overview of the circumstances, location, noises, disappears, doubtlessly described in some cack-handedly coded terms. Oh, and then of course there's the witnesses. The cult fingers them outright. They don't want us asking around ourselves, you see. Wouldn't be proper in a polite society such as ours. These witnesses won't want to be seen speaking with you publicly. Try to get them alone. If they still refuse, then you'll need to get the guard corps involved. Tell them it's on the cult's orders and all that. Like there was an episode of Doctor Who where they go to Italy and the doctor's companion tries to talk to a local in Italian. The doctor's ship already translated everything in English, so she ends up reversing it and speaking English at the law. Nice. There was one time my family visited. We visited Mexico. Cozumel, Mexico, I believe. Cozumel is in the Bahamas, isn't it? Where in Mexico was it? Hold on. This is gonna. I need. Now that I have this on my mind. Oh, Cozumel is in Mexico. So we took a trip to Cozumel, Mexico. This was when I was younger, and I knew just enough knew enough Spanish to get by. So me and my cousins are on the beach, and we see a couple of girls walk by, and they're like, "Joel, go get her name." By the way, my name's Joel. JP, go get her name. So I'm like, I don't think I can. Roman is on Smack. Oh no. Well, there goes Kofi's title reign. So much for that. Good job, everybody. Well, I for one look forward to Roman Reigns being our WWE champion. Chris, what do you think about that? You excited for Roman Reigns to be your new WWE champion? So yeah, well, they're like, JP, get her name. Like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I can't speak English, not English, but Spanish that well, but I'll try. So I go up to her. I'm like, hola, I'm JP. Although I use my real name, which I just said for you guys. So now you guys know. I think I butchered it at some point. I'm pretty sure I didn't ask for her name. I think I asked for, like, I don't know, a beer or something. And she was like, I can speak English. Okay, that makes this much easier then. Thank you very much. But it's just something about locales and you want to look like you're fitting in. It never works out. Just admit that you're a stupid American and go from there. And the point of that's the point. That's as wild as it gets. I promise you, I am a good Christian boy trying. It wouldn't get any wilder than that. I'm not Mike. However, and this is critical, Sif leans over the table and breathes out a whiff of smoke. We, and by we, I mean the walking trade, do not work for the cult of our matriarchal trio. Do you understand? So what happened after that, JP? Well, if you're so innocent a Christian... I will, That is a story that we will save for another time. I'm already going to be stretching my Twitch boundaries with this game. We'll leave that one alone. Tell us. There's really not much to tell. We just hung out. I mean, that is what you tended. I mean, guys, I was like 16, 17. I'm pretty sure the girl I was talking to was like 20. I was a boneheaded kid, all right? I was that stupid. Back when JP had hair. Yeah. Back before ambition and age and yes, when I had hair. Chrissy, these wild stories you're coming up with. Seriously, that is literally that's all that happened. We just kind of hung out on the beaches of Cozumel. Ain't that illegal? It is. I will have you know that nothing of the sort happened. We were all proper and respectable Christian children. Well, you're not telling us what's happened, so I'm going to fill in the gaps. That is what happened. We just hung out on the beach. That's pretty much it. That's another one of those visual novels from What's That Studio. Don't make my life into an adult visual novel, please. Not a bad adult visual novel like that. Good God. Let's leave Beach Bounce out of this. God, that thing was wretched. I don't know how Chrissy made it through. Sid frowns when I hesitate. They are not our masters. No one is. Do you remember when I told you last night? Our sole loyalty is to the trade. The cult is a convenience, most of the time. Easier than squeezing coin out of the serfdom ourselves anyway. And when those red roads become an obstacle, we move around them. Sif takes another drag on his pipe. Just a quick one. Now, tell me about your father. I debate answering him honestly for a heartbeat. Make sure I get that right. I'm the son of Newt, I tell him, drawing my voice low. No. Sif leaned forward in his seat. Then he resumed his usual straight-back posture. Yes, I see the resemblance. And he did have a son, as I now recall. That would also explain your sudden arrival in Midgard, after hiding out in Gus's old cottage. Sif seemed eager to add something further, but stops himself. Bora and Gregor had entered through the doorway and are scraping their soles on the threshold. And Sif? You ever heard of one of them that can talk? I asked hastily. Where did you see it? I'm just asking. Don't play lightly with the subject, Jorgen. If you found it, then tell me. We need to kill whomever we're speaking with. That's... ooh. Well, considering that thing was speaking to us, that might be an issue. Evening, Sif. Good evening, Gregor. Well, I'll just stand there, bro. Come on. What are y'all drinking? Gregor asked as the pair takes their stools. I ain't. Should've guessed. Well, I see you got your face fixed, but where's your haircut? I ain't got the coin for haircuts, Gregor. Alright then I'll cut your hair. Hell you will. Sif, ain't I a decent barber? He does cut hair. Alright. I gotta save up, gotcha. But we can't have you walking around looking like a... Gregor glances at Bro for a heartbeat, who frowns. And so my cousin directs his attention to Sif. He stares right back at him. Like a shaggy dog or something. A nice Reddit cut like mine. And that's what you need. I love that Gregor's just that confident in his barbering skills. Yeah, I can cut hair. I've done it before, I think. Gregor slouches back in his seat and gestures at me offhandedly. Yeah, Jorgen here's real big on the hiatus if y'all ain't heard. So you can't be walking around without a decent haircut. And you? Do you assent to his dictations, cousin? Gregor scratches his eyebrow with his thumb. Maybe you should assent to getting a girlfriend. Why are all of you laughing at Jorgen? Y'all leave. Jorgen is our son, who we are well pleased. You leave our boy alone. You're like 26 and still ain't married. None of y'all are. Cause I'm going about it smart like. You don't understand my situation here. I gotta be selective. Too many offers. Don't get ordering me just because there ain't a single girl out here with you on her mind. What about that girl you were talking to at North Market? I need bra under the table, but the kittens are already out of the bag. No! Gregor cries, driving his forearm to the table. Not our little Jorgen. Gregor is Christy if Christy was a guy. I am convinced. Christy, don't even, if you're still here. You can't deny it. I'm pretty sure that business offer isn't legal. We're gonna leave that one alone. What's she look like? Ask him. What's her name? Syed? We ain't talking about this. Syed, that's a nice name. So what's she look like? Then as a whipping pole with these big green eyes. Oh yeah, I figured she'd have to be thin. Jorgen can't handle himself a big girl. Wow. Well, Gregor. When you're bringing her around these parts, cousin, I would never. Even if it was like that. Which it ain't. Why not? I thought she was cute. She's cute too? Mother of mercy, Jorgen. Don't screw this up now, you hear? Who owns her? I don't know. She might be free. How'd you meet her? Told you, we ain't talking about this. I tried saying it again. Doesn't seem to be working much. Why not? She seems nice. Y'all should have seen the way she was fussing over her scars. Alright, Jorgen. What's wrong with her? Or maybe I should be asking what's wrong with you. She just ain't my type. Ain't your type? Well, what's your type? I know the answer that I'm supposed to give. A brown-haired girl from a good family. Strong hips, honest smile, diligent in her chores. One that'll give me a few kids. Mostly boys. Don't worry about it. Gregor pushes a pot across the table with his pinky. This is why we must get some visual novels animated. Definitely Redacted Life, all of the Jisei series, and Walkerman. This is why Walkerman must be animated. It's just too good. Come on. I promised myself I wouldn't suffer another taste of the stuff. But I don't see how else I'm going to get this off my chest. This is the only one. Gregor slides the pot the rest of the way. I grab hold, tip it into my mouth, and chug the whole thing in one go. I slam the pot back down on the table, rattling the rest of the containers. With mild horror, I discovered that the taste started to grow on me. Oh, Redacted Life will be brilliant animated. And all the fun stuff you can do with an animated version of that story would be it would be great. I stand on that one. I want a girl that's got skill in her hands. What? You know, that she can cooper a barrel, pound out a horseshoe, or hit a deer from 100 paces. That sounds like a girl we know, and it's not Syed. Gregor thinks this over for a heartbeat. Coopering, smithing, and hunting game. Sounds like you're looking for a boyfriend, Raider. I reach across the table to smack him, but my cousin is quick for his size. Relax. Crone's teeth. You really can't take a joke, can you? But I gotta say, if you find a girl that can bang out a decent Cooper, she ain't gonna. Wow. I know what they're going for here, but that's just hard to read out loud. She ain't gonna be no thin little thing. Lots of freemen's wives do some kind of work on the side. Bros pipes in. I haven't heard of any that are blacksmiths. Haberdashery and that sort of thing is more sensible. I mean, you don't have to take my advice. I'm not married. Nobody here is even asked to be, right? Nobody's here even asked to be, right? The silence confirms it. No sense in rushing it. The man can find on his own. Take Sif here. How you getting along these days? Bode won that house in the game of Mary the Queen. As I'm sure you all have heard by now. 30 rounds of it. The spectators here chew through their finger bones with each flip. That takes care of the lodging. And as for the coin, Sif trails off, reluctant to steer the conversation into darker waters. Coin isn't an issue right now. So yeah, we do know a girl that fits into Jorgen's description, which is probably why he hasn't chased yet too hard yet. I wonder. The sky wheels further into its nightly filament, and I stay true to my word, refusing any drink offered to me after that first pot. But before too long, Bora makes it known that he needs to start walking home. It's bound to be quite the gauntlet, given his current state. So yeah, I'm not walking home alone. I finished for him. Oh, so now y'all worried about our sleep problems. I am, I say, more to Sif than Bora. He lives by North Market. I see. Yeah, didn't Nicole tell any of y'all excuse me. Let me try that again. Yeah, didn't Nicole tell any of your Babylonites to pull your pants up and work your trade for once? Bora continued, courage bolstered by the pots. Wait till my cousin gets back and we'll go with you. As if on cue, Gregor returns from the back alley, still fixing up his trousers. And this dude still has a rope for a belt. Good job, Gregor. We're taking Bora home, I tell him. Why doesn't he just sleep at my place? Can't. I gotta go home. It shouldn't be a problem, Sif says, and taps his pipe out onto his thigh. Bora teeters for a moment and then sits in the dirt. Shouldn't be a problem at all. You ain't gotta come with us, Gregor. Nah, I'll come. Damn. Up we go, Gregor chides, pulling Bora to his feet. The pair then embrace in mutual structural support. Sure this ain't a problem, Sif? No, we'll be alright. Just follow me. With that, we heard Bora and Gregor through the hatchway and into we heard Bora and Gregor through the hatchway and into the inner city. A left up ahead, Sif announces. Don't go to the left of C Street after dusk. I nod and nudge the pair towards the narrows. Then turn right immediately past the butchers. An odd route, but a welcome one. Won't be running into any beaten and bloody drunks on this path. Gregor has me under one shoulder. Beneath his other is Bora, who stumbles along on his crooked legs and yet is somehow still the steadier of the pair. The three of us wheel through the unlit alleyways like some Harvest Time racing game, guided along by the unseen giant, who calls out directions from the darkness 30 paces ahead. A left here, another right after that, and then we're told to wait, and my cousin grows heavier on my shoulder. Gregor, you should have just gone home. My cousin mutters something unintelligible in response, then begins to sing. Snarled and Flimfield, the first few verses are more gurgles of sun, but I recognize the rating song when Gregor shouts out the chorus. Way, hey, run away! Grabbing Birdie's booty! Shut up, I hiss, elbowing him in the side. If only we had left him in the harbor, or pressed getting Bora into sleeping on our floor. Really, any other course of action except our current one. If a man follows one rule in his life, it should be to stay indoors after dusk. But somehow we can't suffer even that small inconvenience. Sif, however, speaks confidently to the task at hand. We're fine. We won't run into any problems on this route. I don't care much for Sif's assurances. Gregor has begun to bellow the song now. Sea spray brings my sweetheart to mind because Raider women taste like brine. Wow. That is a special kind of something right there. I lean in close to hush him, and only now do I see the look on my cousin's face. The smile is feigned, terror shows in his eyes. I like that little subtlety in your artwork, because he's clearly scared out of his mind. Alright, that's enough. Quiet him up, Civ says, turning suddenly. We're here. Word darts a hand, leaving me to struggle with my cousin's weight. I'm just up ahead, at the foot of the market. I managed to reach Sif with Gregor in tow. He catches my cousin and I pin myself from his armpit. Then the Padre sits him down, waits for me to go on. I'll wait with him here. Well, that's not good. Ahead, the market is shrouded by fog of a pale, leprous green color. I breathe it in and immediately regret the decision. My throat feels like I've sucked up a coal fire. Hey, see what I'm on about? Bror asks through his shirt sleeve and gestures sloppily towards the churning weird. I've got some trouble sleeping around here. We'll get to it eventually, Bror. The boy says nothing, but lopes sluggishly to the door of a nearby apartment. Nice seeing you again, Bror. Bror leans his forehead against the door, still silent, and begins fiddling his key into the lock. Yeah, Raider, he says finally, then disappears. I linger for a while, gazing into the fog and puzzling at the shapes revealed by the settling rolls. Kiosks, most of them. I can make out the communal awning, too, but there's something else in there. A shadow of puzzling origin. The clouds waved right before a heartbeat, parting just long enough for me to catch sight of that shadow walking away. I sweep a finger over my breast and leg it back down the alleyway. Gregor still seated on the ground when I returned, Sif at his side, squatting in the Herdchaser fashion. We're fine. How's Gregor? Sif rises from his squat and leans in close to whisper. Not as drunk as he's making himself out to be, I assure you. I nodded and glanced down at my cousin. The man is staring at the toes of his boots, his hands clasped over his belly. I don't think I'll ever know what goes on in that head of his. Time to go home, Gregor. Considering the stuff we've seen, it's nothing good. Gregor takes wordlessly to his bedroom and shuts the door behind him. I watch the closed door for a moment before slipping out of my boots and retiring to the bench. I say my cousin has something wrong with him, but his behavior is oddly commonplace. Since early on in my life, I've recognized the enthusiastic ignorance of Raiderkind when it comes to the weird. Forgetting it, and ignoring it, and hiding it, all until it's too late. It's the sort of show we've always put on. We're always putting on, poorly planned but dancing deftly, a rhythm of centuries' experience. And sometimes I wish I could kick my heels up with the rest of them, but life circumstances have left me with two dead legs. And they can't carry me away forever. I place my hands over my eyes. I wonder if Sif would really kill me. Yeah, tea. Just need a little tea. Breakfast first, then a haircut. Those were my cousin's first words to me. In spite of earlier protests, I soon found myself straddling the porch banister. Gregor tilts and yaws my head around, inspecting its topography. Then swipes his razor along a horribly used-looking strop. Then pushes my hair up to survey the lay of it once again. Nothing off the top. Maybe a little off the top. Nothing off the top. And don't give me no white walls either. Gregor snores and then begins to shear. What are you up to today anyways? Heading to the mood as soon as we're done here. Of course you are, Gregor says and scrapes out a contour. I remain silent for a while, feeling out the little passes of his razor along my nape. Some distance away on the pier, a carter had taken to whipping his mule with his own crupper, but the beast does not budge, nor even seem to acknowledge the beating. I slugged someone yesterday. Gregor pauses. I'm not sure what provoked him to say that. Ain't one of the boys, was it? Nah. He leans in and cradles my head from side to side, checking the evenness of his work. What'd you slug him for? He was stumbling around after Vespers. Drunk off his ass, trying to stir shit up about my pouches. Did you sucker him? Reckon I made it clear enough what I was fixing to do. You suckered him. The camera cuts to him and then his hair cuts a mohawk. Really, at this point, would any of us be surprised if it was? Gregor sighs as he thumps some hair off the blade. You know what kind of animal that is? He asks, setting the razor down and grabbing a pair of scissors. What's that? A snake, Jorgen. A snake's the kind of animal that sneaks up on people and bites them when they ain't looking. That the kind of animal you want to turn into when the second age hits? A snake? I say nothing. Line up in the back or fade it. Fade it. Gregor places 2 fingers on the back of my hand and pushes me forward, then flicks his razor down the length of my neck and works his way around. That'll do, he says, and shoots the hair from my shoulders. I unhorse myself from the banister, dip my hands in the wash bucket, and run them over my scalp. Danger for snippets of hair collect in the spaces between my knuckles, and drift around the wash like a curious kind of flotsam. When the ripples calm, I'm left staring at my own reflection. The stitches wind their way across my face as if I was some beloved dolly. It's only determined not to let it fall apart. I raise a hand to them. I bet I'm aware I'm developing, and trace the tracks of thread. Gregor pushes air between his lips like a horse, and drags a few bushels of hair off his porch with the side of his heel. It doesn't look all that bad, he tells me, and I take it he doesn't mean the haircut. I throw my shirt back on and feign that as if I couldn't care less. That's actually pretty close to a mohawk. I can't say that you were wrong about that, Katie. Thanks. Don't mention it. Actually, yeah, do mention it. Maybe I can start a side business like Bro was saying. Reckon it'll make your husband happy. Anyways, I'm off. See you then, Gregor says, waving his scissors goodbye. And maybe think twice about that girl you ain't talking to. You could get her a tiny barrel to practice on, you know? But I was just... Well, now the joke is real, Katie. The joke is real. Up the road through the hatchway, I curtain out to Captain Olaf, and I'm finally on my way to the moon to get some honest work. Hey, look who's back. These two. But I won't get far down the Freeman's Road before spotting Kala. She and Anatello await my arrival on the steps of a wheelwright shop, well out of sight of the sea gate. If it isn't a Walkerman, perfect. I almost didn't recognize you from the hair. Too formal, the way she talks. The girl never suffers a contraction, let alone a slurred word. Each and every syllable is pounded out as if she was giving a lesson in dictation. The pair hops down the steps to greet me. The foreigner's smile falters a bit when they get close enough to see my face, but they collect themselves quickly. Good morning, Anatello says with practice air. Morning. Y'all were looking for me? We were hoping for another talk, yes. And I have rare coins this time. Are you busy? Right now? I was just on my way to visit the cult. Kala's ears perk up at that last word. Oh? Perhaps we could accompany you. It's for work stuff. We will not be any bother at all. I take it the girl doesn't understand the implications of a poucher visiting the moon. But even if the trip wasn't work-related, I'd be loath to bring these foreigners there with me. If they manage to weasel their way in on their own, then fine. That's probably inevitable, but it won't be on my name. I can still use the extra coin, though. That's alright. I'll take you to the North Market again. I'm worried I'm quickly something of a fixture at that communal, but there aren't many other options. We have already eaten. Then maybe we'll just go there and sit for a spell. Carla finds this agreeable and shares a quick translation to her companion. Alright, follow me. I take them over to the large thoroughfare bordered by small houses. The refuse alley is the shorter path and less trafficked, but I couldn't bear to leave foreign eyes and noses through it. And so we go cutting through the crowds, turning every head along the way. I sit up poucher leading two colorful and half-dressed foreigners. The gawkers couldn't ask for better minstrels. Some surf-kind trailers like strays asking Carla for handouts of the tobacco. We don't hold their attention for long. Something up ahead has drawn quite the audience. They're shouting, a shrill and half-lucid barking. As we near the scene, I recognize the source. Hey, he's back. I wonder if he remembers us punching his lights out, Jorgen. The drunk is all of fury this morning. He paces from one side of the street to another and then back again, throwing his hands around and cussing up a summer storm. The scene has attracted a gathering of 4 dozen of store raiders. They watch from a respectable distance away, except for the children who have begun a game of chicken, darting in to dance around the drunk and then skipping away. And all my father did for you, and y'all never cared. No, not one dram for all he did for y'all, and now a boy appears from a byway. He found himself a stick and gives the drunk a crack on the back of his knees with it. The drunk chases him for a few paces before giving up. He just got up. A man remarks to someone else in the car. He just got up. Excuse me. I'm gonna get this right one of these days. He just got up. A man remarks to someone else in the crowd. Was sleeping soundly in the street till now. Usually the friendly type too. Can't rightly reckon what's got him going. The boy darts in again, but the drunk is ready for him this time. He rips the stick out of the child's hand and snaps it on a knee. That's when he notices me. You. Yeah, me. What is the problem? Carla asks, and the girl steps forward, but I put out an arm to stop her. Don't get too close to it. He is not a wild animal. He's halfway there. This man is the product of his environment. He's the product of a puckered asshole. Get away from him. Carla turns to lecture me further on her personal brand of horseshit. Behind her, the Freeman's scowl turns into a leer. Through those red-rimmed eyes, he finally realized the prize jiggling before him. Oh, Jesus. Do you really feel that, under different circumstances, this man would... Carla stops remain unfinished as his drunk wander's hand finds her. Animal. Animal! Animal! Fucking animal! The drunk is stronger than I would have guessed from last night's showing. The fight isn't easy or clean. But I managed to get on top of him, and I rained hammer fists down on his nose until it bubbles and streams. One of my hands clenching my collar, the other feeling around for my eyes. I tuck my face into my shoulder and keep punching it until those searching hands go limp. Did I just kill a man? Did I just kill a guy with my bare hands? Bloody hell, Jorgen. When I raised my head again, I discovered that the crowd had swelled immensely, as crowds often do when they smell blood. Legs shuffle around and stand up on their toes. Faces peek through elbows and over shoulders. Overhead, a young girl unlocks her window and leans out for a better view. Everybody's like, oh, some guy just died. Let's take a look. I unhorse myself in the degenerate and turn to the foreigners. I told you, I shout. By looks in their eyes, I know they see me in a different light now. Looking down on me, looking down on us. Would that I had shown them that shit strewn back alley instead. Let's just go. It takes a while for Cola to say anything. In fact, I reckon the foreigners only follow me here out of some misguided sense of obligation. Kala begins confidently, trust that you had my best intentions at heart. She finishes somewhat less so. And I am sorry. Sorry, and the teller says, then ducks his head and says it again. That was not the place for an argument. But let us put it aside. It is good to know when to remember and when to forget. Nah, I want to tell you something. I want to tell y'all something. Actually, I want to ask y'all something. Please. Y'all think y'all got wits over us? Excuse me? Back there, I told you. Told you and you didn't listen, like you knew better. And this is something I picked up on earlier, too. Y'all think y'all smarter than us raiders? You act like it. There are some facets of Ziopan thought on the subject, which could be laid out more clearly if you would like. Go ahead, then. Kala coughs into her hand and begins. A man is made up of his physical, mental, and ethical properties. I rest my cheek in her palm. This girl is incapable of holding a conversation without ascending her pulpit first. Constituting the physical, his strength, stamina, height, and tolerance for diseases, his ability to process foods and pollens without reaction, his keptness as he ages, and so on. I'm sure you can guess the mental properties, pattern recognition, learning speeds, and such. Lastly, a man's ethical properties include his discipline, reliability, and control over his appetites. I take my cheek out of my palm at the mention of appetites. I'm listening. So you, of course, know that a man's physical properties are determined by his diet and activities. You, for instance, are quite tall and your shoulders carry the look of a farmhand. You have had an adequate diet, perhaps a little lean, but plenty of labor. Have I guessed correctly? Yeah, close enough. Now, a venture that you cannot read. You just had to bring that up. But you could learn. I guess. No, there is no guessing. Of course you can. You cannot read, but this is only because you're not raised to read. Like the improperly fed child who grows stunted and weak, your mind was starved. Purposefully, I might add, as your masters only needed you for labor. I paused to think on it for a heartbeat. I always envied literacy. When I wanted to don the red robes, I knew runes would bar my way. Now that I think about it, Jorgen hasn't read at all. Like, he hasn't read anything in this entire game. Huh. When I went to don the red robes, I knew runes would bar my way. I'll admit that it's tempting to place the blame on the noble kind, though I know that this is Kala's angle in every discussion. So no, I would not say that we have wits over you. This is a foreign concept. We are merely the products of a more proper environment. So when you look down upon the man in the alleyway with his shortcomings, the gist of this conversation has only become apparent. As the pieces click together, I begin to protest. Don't give him an excuse. That's what they all want. Some way to say, oh, it ain't my fault. Ain't nothing I could do. And are they wrong? I was raised in the same streets as that degenerate Kala, and I ain't a drunken beggar, now am I? Off on the Marcus corner, I see the door to Broer's apartment open. The Freeman hobbles out on his crooked legs. Look, see that boy over there? That's Broer, I say, pointing to him. You see his legs? Rickets. He was born like that. No environment's going to change it. And that's just the way it is. Some folks get born with warped legs or idiot minds, and some are just rotten inside. Perhaps, but we do not craft a rule around its exceptions. And furthermore, I believe that condition is actually... I need Kala lightly under the table. The young raider himself is loping this way, as if drawn towards the company of his fellow misfits. Hey, Jorgen. Hey, strangers, he says into Kala's open shirt. Would it really hurt her to close her shirt? Just a little bit. I'm just saying, I understand the purposes and the reasoning and the rationale thereof, but come on. You're those bars that were all over the Freeman's dinners this... You're those bars that were all over the Freeman's dinners this past moon, right? My name is Kala Wanui Ara, she says, and taps her companion on the back. Hello, Anatilla begins, and it sucks in a breath as he recalls his last line. My name is Anatilla Waira Rappa. It is so nice to meet you. No sooner than the foreigner extends his hand, Boar snatches it out of the air. Boar, son of Declan Lumber and Platinum. Nice to meet you. Hello, he shouts again as Boar shakes him up and down. Dude's probably going to shake his arm off, and until it looks like he could get knocked over by a stiff wind. And then the Freeman moves in on Kala, who catches his handshake with matching ambition. So nice to meet you, Boar. Kala was just humoring me with some foreign notion of theirs. Y'all going on about those primitive acquisitions again? No. Kala replies quickly. But I am pleased that you remembered our words. We were discussing how most men, are not born into molds of good or evil, but are rather the products of their environment. For you see, much Like how a child born into famine grows weak, or a child born into servitude grows dull, a child born into strife becomes a thief and a liar. Bora turns to me with a grin. How much are they paying you to listen to this crap? Bora, that is not how we talk about a woman in her condition. I'm not going to argue the condition. Kyle laughed a little forcibly. You disagree? Me and my brother both had the same tutor. I'm way smarter than that clown. How do you reckon that out? And my cousin and me ate from the same table all of our lives, but he's maybe twice my size. Kyle twists at the knuckle of her pointed finger. As I've said, there may be some small amounts of slack, but ultimately, would you not agree that a child never knowing hunger will not learn to steal bread? Noble kind steal our bread in regular intervals. That's how we feed serf kind like Jorgen here. Kylie clenches the bridge of her nose between her thumb and forefinger. She does not like Bora. Yes, I do, of course. Well, she definitely doesn't like the noble kind, but she does not like Bora. Bora, you gotta work your way back up there, man. Alright, let us try this a different way. Bora, are you literate? I am. I know a fair bit of math as well. So does that mean you have wits over Jorgen? You were supposed to say no, Bora. I think he's far more intelligent than he lets on. And I ain't sure if that's a compliment. But you agree with me. I can see this. You could have gone farther, been more. Something limited you. But what was this something? Who is to blame? Either way, there's a difference between a man's intelligence and his loadedness. I would like to demonstrate this. Let me ask you two some purposeful questions. Purposeful questions. I wonder if this girl knows any other kind. Bora, how many feet does a horse have? Horses don't have feet, they have hooves. Correct. Very good. And Jorgen, if there's snow in Forsberger, Jorgen, there's snow in Forsberger. If the bears are right where there's snow, then what colors are the bears in Forsberger? There ain't no such thing as a white bear. But now I'm starting to panic. Have I gotten it wrong? I'm sure if there were white bears in Forsberger, then I would have heard about them by now. This could blow my cover story wide open. Okay, maybe if a raider told me that, a raider with 40, 50 years on his belt, then I'd believe him. But I ain't never seen a white bear, and I'm from Forsberger, so there. Well, let me rephrase that. If there's snow in Rus, and bears are white wherever there's snow, also now you're telling me that there are bears are white in Rus? Which is a foreigner? Get your story straight. Sage, maybe we should try something else. Kyle and Anatella chirp to each other for a moment. Then Anatella produces a stack of cards from his tunic. How about a card game? Degenerate. No, it's not gambling. It's a sort of test for intelligence. One that does not require reading or writing. Please, look here. I take the card from her. Oh, great. This puzzle again. Which is stenciled with an odd geometric pattern. It doesn't resemble their runes, and at least from what I've seen of them. This ain't writing? No, it's not. You see how the top three symbols are similar? Yeah, they all look kind of similar, actually. Can you tell there is a pattern going from left to right? Yeah. Hey, I do. But the last box in the third sequence is empty. It must be filled. Out of all the symbols on this card's bottom section, which is the proper choice for this? Please, place your finger on the correct choice. I was pretty sure that one. Correct, but the patterns get harder as you progress further into the deck. Would you care to try too? She asked Bora. Sure, sounds fun, Bora replies and takes a stack from Anatella. Kyle, were they just carrying these cards around waiting to challenge somebody to a card game? Kyle hands a second card to me, and I find that I can't back out now. Now with Bora and Anatella already flipping through their half of the deck. Save it right here. Okay, we'll probably finish up this puzzle, and if I remember correctly, we're gonna run into one more girl, and that should finish up this stream. But let's at least finish up the puzzle. So 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so okay, I see the patterns going in. Kyle smiles slightly as she hands me the next one. Okay. These two combined. I swear to God, I was really good at this back in middle school. Okay, crossing this. And these combined. So, it's canceling out lines as it goes, or as they combine, rather. This middle line, and where the lines connect, those lines disappear. So this one coming into this one will get rid of the middle line, and it will get rid of this part of the line, I believe. So we're gonna go with this one. I glance at Callous Faith as I hand the card back, but this time she betrays no tells. Oh Lord. I wonder if is this a real intelligence test here, or did the developer just make this up? Because if the developer made it up, what the hell? Okay, dots, sun face, dot, sun face. No sun face, then sun face in the geometric pattern. Sun face, geometric pattern. I'm going with, I believe I have to go with this one. Only a few more. I will not make you sit through the entire test. Just some of my favorites. Here. Oh, Christ. What is even this? It alternates between changing red to green. Oh. Oh, you're talking about the last test. True. That was a good way to look at it. What's that meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? I hate this artwork right here. It's Mug R mocks me. Callous Mug R mocks me. So let's look at this one. Triangle, diamond board, empties out. Alright, this is just, okay, I'm pretty sure this is a test to test out of the box thinking. And I despise it. So, rectangle, square, triangle, rectangle. Okay. It's one of these two, because the filled in bar has to come to play here. The question is which direction. There's something with this puzzle I know I'm missing. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thank you, Katie. Alright, Keller says, take it to card and flip into the deck for another. One more, and I want to give you a hard one this time. Oh, thank you very much, because my brain isn't hurting already. You can get another card from the green deck, or I can give you one from the red deck. What's the difference? Green deck is entirely visual patterns, as you've already seen. Oh, wait, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, there's that out of the box thinking. This is why I stick to politics. Red deck is more abstract reasoning. I'll give you a slightly easier card if you choose the red deck, but either way it's going to be tough. Which would you like? Hit me with it. Let's try the red. Here you are. Oh, what the hell? We asked for abstract. So let's see. Two. One, two. 1, 3, 2 outside. 2, 2. Okay, so if there's one in the circle, if whatever's in the circle doubles, I think. Hold on, let me think about this. Let me reason this out. If it's inside, if whatever's inside of the circle adds 1 by the end of the pattern, if it moves to the outside, it subtracts 1. That's an extraordinarily arbitrary rule, though. Come on, just from a different angle. All right, so I'm thinking Africa here. For what it's worth. I'm going to go with I want to go with this bottom one because here's my logic. Every pattern. Hold on. Let me rethink my logic. Give me a second. The pattern so far. 1, 1, 2. 1, 3, 2. 2, 2. It feels like it should go back to 1. The question is whether that one is going to be outside of the circle or inside the circle. I'm thinking outside because it has to be. It looks like the rule is what's inside the circle adds and what's outside of the circle subtracts. So I'm thinking this is going to be outside of the circle. And since it was outside here, it'll subtract down to 1. That's what I'm going to go with. I could be wrong. I'm thinking top left because the last one could just lead to removing 1 ball and shifting around the remaining one's position. Yeah, that's true too. So I think we're all on the same page here. Top left. All right, done. Me too. And how'd the Bro do? Good. Aces. And Jorgen performed adequately. You know what? Right here. I will take that as a win. Perhaps you are properly placed within this society, and perhaps not. I must admit, I cannot say for certain. I do not know so much about your trade. We got the last 2 right, if nothing else, all right? We were thinking along the same lines, unless we're supposed to see the patterns another way. Like, here's the thing with Kala. In the original question that she gave to Bror, the answer he gave to the question was correct, but it wasn't the answer to the direct question. It was a logical puzzle, not necessarily a mathematical one. So it feels like with the cars, there was something more that we were supposed to do. Something that we were supposed to see that we didn't have an option to see at the time. Regardless, I hope you understand that your position and potential are two different things. So is she saying that we did well and that she thinks that we should be doing something different, or she can't tell? I don't know. I have questions. But maybe not as far apart as you make them out to be. Excuse me? I mean, it's one thing to say you could have gotten farther in life. Everyone's got dreams. But why'd you let them stay dreams? You could have chased them. Most folks seem like they never even tried. The question is an open one. One I can't help but feel that the conversation's weight has landed on my shoulders. Oh yeah? What exactly are you doing that's so great, bro? I told you already about the platinum, didn't I? I'm gonna turn the whole thing around. So you say. Yeah, Raider, I do. Or at least I'm gonna have a go at it. Beats doing nothing, doesn't it? Platinum? You know what full silver is. No, don't reckon she does. I pulled out I pulled the old platinum coin out of my pouches and handed it to the girl. The foreigner's eyes widened. It's sort of like Silver and Iron's bastard kid. The joke here with platinum, of course, is that it's more valuable than anything else, and the Raiders could have gotten out of this. Everybody in Midgard could have got rich a long time ago off of it. But because they never used it for anything other than making weapons, they don't know its true value. Anatella takes the coin from Kala, peers at it, and then starts chitting away. You do not appreciate this metal? Nah, I know it's shiny and all, but we're sitting on so much of it up here in the north that it ain't really that special. That coin was from back when we tried minting it. Might as well have minted wooden coins though. It's great for metalworking though. Real strong material. Shame that the bottom fell out of that market after the raids in it. May we keep this if it is no use to you? Nah, I need that. Work stuff. Well, might we borrow it? Yeah, why not? And y'all know the word borrow means you give it back eventually, right? Of course. I guess you can have it then? Oh, thank you. Kyle slips a coin into her brassiere and pats it. I don't know how many times we gotta explain to y'all that stuff ain't worth nothing. Look at half the tools in the city-state are made from it. That and the weaponry, it's all platinum. You know, when the raids first started, the Gotlanders thought that we were some form of divine punishment. Warriors from the horizon swinging silver swords. The noble kind just made that stuff up to boost morale. How could you possibly know that? You can't know anything for sure these days, Bor shrugs. But I do know that Raider arms aren't entirely platinum. Never were either. Platinum keeps a good edge, but it's heavy as hell. Nearly triple what iron weighs. You wouldn't want to swing it around for very long. Typical Raider sword has a platinum edge, with a tin alloy or blooms of steel for its base. Smiths will alter the composition of metals in the base to suit its needs. Stronger here, more malleable there, sharper where it needs to be. It's not easy to do, but back in the day we had some freemen that were near magicians in the Bloomery. And even further back, in Helheim, they made attachment architecture out of it. They say the city walls were platinum, great shining ones decorated in copper. And what became of Helheim? Bor and I exchanged glances. We don't talk about that kind of stuff, you know. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Anatella echoes. And it might not be the only Northman word he knows, but it's definitely his favorite. Anyway, I've got work stuff. I understand. Please, receive your coin. Kelly reaches into her tunic and procures some copper. Hang on. You really are paying him to talk to you? Steer your own craft, bro. Were you looking for coin as well? Are you just giving it away? No. Coin is for trade. Something for something. Is that not how it is with Freeman? It is. I sense you got more than a passing interest in platinum. Perhaps. Well, don't be a stranger. Yes, we should become connected. The connection is the most vital pulse in a society's body. Yes, yes. That's what I like to hear. Networking. I sigh, pocket Kyle's coppers, and stand upright to stretch my legs. And bro, I see what I can do about, Nah, don't worry about it, Raider. It's being handled. Oh? Well, alright then. Have a good day. Have a good day, Raider. Take the shortcut through the back alley, jiggling my coin pouch as I go. And I find that I've almost gotten used to the smell of the place by now. Almost. A window opens up overhead and the full chamber is emptied onto the path below me. I get my shirt over my nose and weave my way through C Street. Hey, look who's back! I shouldn't be surprised to discover Siad waiting by the pillory. The girl is standing with her hands clasped in the small of her back, rocking on her heels and staring into the byway, the exit of a longer route that I usually take. Siad? Oh, hey, how are they healing up? Fine, just fine. I rub at my neck and break eye contact. I can never hold her for very long with her. Look in her eyes, always pregnant with some deeper emotion. I can't place my finger on its intent, but I wish I wasn't the subject of it all the same. I left my gaze on the cobbles again, the stare still waiting for me, an expectant look. She's not just here for the stitches. So, about that promise. I am a raider that keeps his word. Alright. But it feels like a microcosm is conspiring to keep me from the mood this morning, and I intend to defy it. Give me your heartbeat, though. I'll be back real soon. I'll wait here. Thanks, I tell her, and take off in a hurry, pace towards the vine-covered gate. Elder Kirk, I've come for the contracts. Oh, how good of you. I was starting to wonder whether you've gotten cold feet. Nah, it just took me a while to get settled in. I wait for a comment about the stitches, but the coach only nods and stiffles the yarn. It's just as well. I haven't thought up a good excuse for such a peculiar wound. He produces a small roll of parchment from his sleeve. I'll assume you'll need it read to you. Yes. Very well, the cultist says. Then he circles his breast, and despite our deserted surroundings, leans in close to whisper. The nights have gone sleepless in North Market. Boris contracted it then, and in the same coded language, as if it warned, it's not likely to get any more straight talk out of Elder Kirk than it. Wow. That was bad even for me. I'm not likely to get any more straight talk out of Elder Kirk than any other raider. The freemen there complain of a fog, green in color and acrid in scent. One raider had the poor fortune of being caught out at night, he says, then brings the scroll closer to peer at what's written there. A freeman, male, stout and bearded. His hair is graying and balding too. His name is Eirik. Or at least that's what it says here. You can't ever really trust the names in these things. A stout and bearded freeman who's gone bald? Does he run a communal? The cultist shrugs. That's all the information I have. He didn't come by himself, mind you. A neighbor informed on him. It seems that you'll need to locate this witness. Would you like me to summon the guards? No, I know where to find the raider. But what's the pay, if you don't mind me asking? 1.5 silver, good raider. So much for Lucy's coin being higher than the norm. Fair enough, I'll take it. The maid of crown touch your brow in the trail of the head, he says, and then hesitates. We are hoping for haste in the matter. The comment came oddly nonchalant, almost wistful. That's what folks sound like when they want to ask for something without asking for it. As I'm sure you've noticed, the solstice nears, and we found ourselves dreadfully short. Short for time, short for hands, and we can't afford to squander either. I'll be quicker than winter's daylight. Then don't let me keep you any longer, good raider. Go with the trio at your side. Elder Kirk hands me the writ. It takes me a moment to reckon out why he would. Even if I could read the parchment, the information therein was next to useless. But it's tokens of legitimacy that makes life much easier for a tradesman. Paper opens more doors than keys, or so they say. Alright. Let's pin it here. And we'll pick up with it on Thursday. We still haven't run into any of the other girls. Honora, Sigrid, Allura, if I remember her name correctly. Gotta investigate the green fog. We got a lot to do. And what I'll do, I'll go ahead and post this video in YouTube to explain what happened. And yeah, we'll do the Walkerman streams in Twitch. So what it's looking like right now, at least because it's a short chapter, if I'm committed, we'll have it done by the end of next week. So today, we'll shoot again for Thursday if nobody else is streaming. Either Saturday, well no, Sunday's Easter. So probably Saturday, and again next Tuesday. And that should round it off. We should have everything done by then. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you guys for coming out. Katie as well. Thank you, Husband No Goddess, for the raid. I do appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you guys Tuesday.